From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. It's the top of the second hour on Mornings Lalate. As big news out of the White House, as the president could sign your $1,400 third stimulus check bill by the end of this week. Meantime, big developments for SSI and SSDI as Senator Elizabeth Warren formally debuted her wealth tax bill, a bill introduced Monday that could set up funding for an increase for SSI, SSDI, VA, and railroad benefits. How it would work. Elsewhere, big, huge news about your fourth stimulus package as the Federal Reserve is urging stimulus to continue. As a major deal between Merck and Johnson & Johnson could deliver across the country vaccine doses and have the entire country vaccinated by the end of May. What's going on? This is huge, incredible, great news as we start a new morning on Mornings Lalate. The nation awaits the third stimulus check, $1,400 for individuals. That's where we are today. The House is going to call for a vote as early as today, and then it could become a law as early as this week, and the bill goes out and it gets paid. But what's happening on another front? As a standalone bill is introduced to the Senate that could fund your $200 a month for SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits. It's from Elizabeth Warren. What's happening? Got all the breaking developments for you starting right now. Good morning, and this is the continuation of Mornings Lalate. How are you? It's live here in Los Angeles, and we got great news across the board. If you just missed the recording before this, on Mornings Lalate, I revealed to you that the $1,400 third stimulus check bill will be called for a vote as early as today in the Senate. Number two, that the Senate Democrats have, with a little bit of modification of the bill, have now voiced their complete allegiance to the president and will pass it right away. Number three, the president will have the bill in his table by the end of this week, as early as the end of this week, to sign into law, and your stimulus check is on its way. That's that item. The other item that I broke to you earlier today and yesterday is that there's push under the fourth stimulus package for reoccurring stimulus checks. More about that coming up at noontime. But this recording is going to go over that standalone bill for Senator Elizabeth Warren. It's called a wealth tax. And the wealth tax is singularly the most exciting news you have heard about for SSI and SSDI in a long, long time. What's going on? Let me tell you, I'm really excited for you. Boy, your $200 a month for SSI and SSDI and Social Security and railroad benefits would be funded by the bill Senator Warren introduced on Monday. This is huge, great news for people who have waited for updates about SSI and SSDI. This is the major news you have wanted to hear, and it's finally hitting. If you've not subscribed, now is the moment to subscribe because there's so much to cover on this channel. I'm live with you 6 hours a day, start at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 o'clock on the East Coast, all the way back to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. There's so much exciting, great news. So hit that subscribe button right now. Also like this video. Who's in the room with me? There's Gunnar and there's Fabio from El Monte. How are you in El Monte? And Krista and Linda and John Thompson. And there's El Marie Entertainment. And there's Crystal Wilson. There's Will and there's Roy and there's Crayola King and there's Susan Johnson. How are you, Susan? How you doing? There's Sue Atkins and there's Fabio again and there's Lynn Glenn, Disco Duck, Richard Guglielmo, and Reds. Wow. Are you excited? How you doing? How you doing? The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and we got three fronts of exciting news. We have the passage of the $14 third stimulus check on one side. We have the third stimulus check. We have the fourth stimulus check passage with a push to get passed with reoccurring stimulus checks, and then we have this recording. SSI and SSDI. Wow. Let me explain what's going on. On Monday, the Democratic senator from Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, introduced a standalone bill in the Senate. It's a wealth tax, 2% tax for people whose net worth is over $50 million. 50. An additional 1% tax for people whose net worth is over $1 billion. Why? The bill is to fund programs. Which programs? Programs like SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits of $2,400 to $200 a month, and other programs as well. This is not new news. It's new news because the bill was introduced on Monday, but it's not new from Elizabeth Warren because she said she was going to do this last year. Wow. Let me back up. When she ran for president, Elizabeth Warren first debuted what everyone asked about on this channel. She debuted it, not the president. She debuted it. $200 a month for 12 months on top of your SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, plus a 20% increase up to 20% lifetime, plus a new benchmark that would raise your benefits at the end of the year that is different than COLA, that's not working. Thank you, Disco Duck, for the dancing bear. She wanted CPIE instead of COLA. She debuted it while she ran for president. Then she also wrote it as a bill. Thank you, Jessica, for another dancing pair. She wrote it as a standalone bill, which she introduced in March of 2020, exactly 1 year ago this month. Then, as she continued to campaign for president, everyone asked, Chrissy, thank you for the super chat, the dancing pair, I really appreciate it. As Elizabeth Warren was vying for president, the presidential campaign, critics asked her, and analysts asked her, Miss Warren, how are you going to pay for this program? There's Red Ruby. Thank you for the dancing bear. They asked her, Senator Warren, how are you going to pay for this SSI and SSDI? She said, give it time. I'll show you. Julie, thank you for Julie becoming a super chat. Purple Power member. Everyone welcome Julie for coming to Purple Hawk. How are you, Julie? And there's Gil Barrera with another dancing pair. Thank you, Gil Barrera. And there is there is someone else. There's Karen. Thank you for the super chat. So they asked her, how are you going to pay for this? Well, she said, give it time. I'll show you. Then she had another proposal, another plan as she was running for president to do something else for the country. And then another one. They said, how are you going to do all this stuff? And then she introduced this. Wow. She introduced this, the wealth tax. She said, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to pay for it. This is how we do it. Thank you for that other dancing pair as well. She said, this is how I'm going to do it. And America reacted. America looked out and said, my, there we go. So the huge news hit on Monday. On Tuesday, there's Gaines. How are you, Gaines? And there's Lorena, and there's Sandy, and there's Connie. She said that this needs to be passed to fund these programs. I'm pleased to announce today that we're going to get this done. She had so much to say. Yesterday, she went on a road show, and she said, it says that if you have a fortune over $50 million, you pay on it, and if your fortune is below $50 million, you don't. Good for you either way. I think most people would rather be rich and pay 2 cents. It's not very fancy. It's not really a tax on fortunes. It's a tax if you have over $50 million. This was huge. That's what she said yesterday. The day before said the wealth tax is popular among voters of both sides for good reasons. They understand the system's rigged to benefit the wealthy and the large corporations. As Congress develops additional plans, the wealth tax should be at top of the list. It would generate $2.75 trillion for programs like SSI and SSDI. If you remember this channel, you got a copy of her actual bill yesterday. Copy of her bill. It will not say SSI, SSDI in it because it's a bill to just tax and raise money. The money is then used for the programs she pushes for. There's Gun, and there's Peggy. Thank you for the dancing pears. Reaction came in today, and the reaction came from Wall Street as one of her deepest critics, billionaire, again, he's a guy who would be taxed, billionaire Leon Cooperman, said he doesn't like the plan, but he does believe that rich should be paying more. Bonita Holmes, welcome to Becoming a Purple Hawk. He actually said, I don't like the idea. He doesn't think it works, but he likes taxing rich people more to raise money for other programs. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. If you're just joining me, you're just like, wow, this is information overload. This is just information overload. It is. It's just a lot happening. Let me recap. Your $14 stimulus check bill will pass the Senate. It does not have SSI and SSDI in it. We had always thought it would be a standalone bill. In October last year, I said it's likely to be a standalone bill. Well, where would the money come to pay for it? The person who came up with the whole concept was Elizabeth Warren. And in 2020, she said the way you would pay for it is taxing rich people, a rich tax. Not rich people, super rich people, 50 million to 1 billion of net worth, incredibly rich people, very, very small number of people in the country. She said that would generate $2.75 trillion of tax revenue for the country over 10 years. That tax revenue would then fund SSI and SSDI. She said that in March of 2020. Now, we have the great news. On Monday, she introduced the standalone Senate bill to tax the rich people, the super rich. That sets up the path to get that money out the door. This plan is basically step one of step two. This is huge news in a week in which there is so much huge news. $14 third stimulus check bill. It's going to be signed into law as early as the end of this week. Elizabeth Warren, on the other front, is fighting to get that SSI and SSDI funded by a wealth tax. And then you have Bernie Sanders and 11 Democrats saying not the third, but the fourth stimulus package, when you bring it out, because it's currently being worked on, it has to have reoccurring, that magical word, reoccurring stimulus checks in there. I mean, how much good news can a person get? Hashtag FPU, hashtag MSC, check. Hashtag MSC, check. Hashtag SS200, check. Hashtag seats or stimulus, check. If only we just had FPC retro, everything else would be absolutely perfect. Nancy, thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk. Do you see the excitement? If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel's on fire. The viewers are flooding in. We're having a lot of fun. We're getting information. We're getting educated. We're pushing. We're having a visually great experience. We're together changing the course of this country. Do you think it's a coincidence that every tweet from every Purple Power member, 100 million views in 9 months. Every tweet has had SS200 and has had MSC. Do you think it's a coincidence that suddenly everything's starting to move? You tell me. You tell me. It's a lot of exciting stuff. And there is Gerald for becoming a Purple Power member. Wow. Everyone welcome Gerald to the family. There's so much happening today. If you're just joining me, this is a 6-hour programming block of Mornings Lalate noontime LA, and afternoons LA. Afternoons LA will end a little bit earlier today, and I obviously started a little bit later today. This show is normally starting, this is usually the third show, and there's usually a fourth show. So suddenly the morning shows today are having 2 instead of 4. Thank you, Red Ruby. So I'm just sort of giving you a roadmap. We're coming up at 10:30. At 11 o'clock at the top of the hour, go right into noontime. So you're going to see 2 shows on this morning's program block today. This one and the one before it, and then we go right into noontime at 11 noon. But boy, the $1,400 third stimulus check bill got a big change this morning. And the change is not anything that's going to impact you. The change is exciting because it sets in path 100% approval from the Democrats to get it passed. That's huge. That's the first one. It also set in path a operandi, an agreement, welcome Gerald to the family, to get multiple stimulus checks under the next stimulus package. It also set up the push for standalone bills. Elizabeth Warren, which I haven't mentioned also, has that standalone bill, $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. I love this, and you so much. I love you, Handy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the very nice comment, Handy. Handy Barnett, thank you so much for tuning in. Eugene, thank you, Eugene. There's Clarence, there's Angie. And there's Tolentino, Rhonda, and Crystal, and Greta, and Crystal, and Clarence, and Zeus. And there's Michelle. But there's big other news today as well. The big news comes about vaccines and comes about something else. Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott. Yeah, I had the update about Governor Abbott and vaccine rollouts and more about your stimulus and the excitement from Elizabeth Warren of SSI and SSDI. It's coming up right after this commercial break. Stay with me. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Stay with this channel. Save LA for more.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Late Daily for the excitement of the new LA Late live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA Late at 9 a.m. Home LA Late returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA Late at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late.
From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LA Late.
And we're back. Big news across the front on your $14 third stimulus check, standalone bill that would fund SSI and SSDI, and fourth stimulus checks, let's put an S on that, reoccurring stimulus checks being pushed by the Senate. Meantime, vaccination news, huge news from the White House yesterday. The president held a press conference late yesterday and again this morning and gave us news that no one saw coming, that the entire rest of the country would be vaccinated by the end of May. We're on track now to have enough vaccine supply for every adult in America by the end of May. This was originally supposed to be July. It's now May. When I came in office, we had not had enough vaccines. We've rectified this. The consequences of stepping up process, I'll just say for every American by the end of May, that's progress, important progress, but it's not enough. That was the president's comments. The president had been meeting all this week And that meeting came to a fruition yesterday as he made a deal between Merck and Johnson & Johnson for Merck to manufacture Johnson & Johnson's vaccines so that they can go out faster. I've been cautious not to give an answer to that when we're going to be normal, but we don't know for sure. My hope is that by the time of this next year, we're going to be back to normal. It's going to be earlier than the time of next year. That's what Wall Street says. That's what the rest of the country says. The fight is far from over. Things may get worse again, was the president's message. But across the country, we're seeing some crazy mixed messages. Those came from Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves, who yesterday said their entire state is reopened. Come into bars, come into gyms. We're all reopened. Get as close as you want to someone else. We're not doing that thing anymore. Texas 100% open, everything. At this level of cases with the variant spreading, we stand to completely lose hard-earned ground we've gained, said the CDC director. So a lot of confusion across the board. A lot of stuff hitting. Basically, the White House saying that we will have the entire country vaccinated by May, which, as you know, is only 60 days away, which would basically say get that fourth stimulus check bill ready now. Because if the whole country is vaccinated by May, the whole country will start to reopen by May. I think it's going to be sooner. I personally think it's going to be sooner. And the fourth stimulus package is a package for reopening the country. Stimulus check in there? Yes, until yesterday when 11 Democrats said no. Not one, but reoccurring stimulus checks. And we'll give you support for this bill, the $14 third stimulus check bill, if you do reoccurring stimulus check bills. Why is their timing perfect? Their timing is perfect because the president is currently writing the fourth stimulus package internally with Nancy Pelosi. And that is where things are going. In this recording, I've been showing you the excitement from this person, Elizabeth Warren, Senator, Democrat from Massachusetts, who yesterday introduced a wealth tax bill. The wealth tax bill would generate $2.75 trillion, $2.75 trillion of revenue for the country over 10 years that would fund everything she wanted to fund. $2,400 of SSI and SSDI, $200 a month on top of your existing benefits, an increase of benefits lifetime up to 20%, and a new benchmark different than COLA. This is huge. This is great, insanely shocking, great news. If I sat back and said, the president came into office on January 20th, we had a little bit of, chatter for a couple weeks. I launched this live channel last Friday. If you would have told me that since launching this live channel, we would have this huge development on SSI and SSDI, which really no one covered anywhere except me, because it's not a mainstream story. Elizabeth Warren's news is not mainstream. She appeared on broadcast news yesterday to push it one time. But if you had told me her story, Bernie Sanders and the 11 Democrats doing reoccurring stimulus checks and passage of the stimulus check bill by concessions from the president today would happen so quickly, Janice, thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk, I would have just been shocked. I would have been shocked. Remember, the focus of this channel is to get you financially stable. My job here is not to have you tracking checks, but cashing checks. I want you to be ahead of the game on getting big checks. Getting checks as soon as they come in. Someone, I think, in one of the comments on the commercial break said they never got their first and second stimulus check, even though they're eligible. File that tax return right now. File it. Go to the big box big box tax preparers. Tell them exactly what you said in the comments. Go right in there. I don't care if you're on SSI or SSDI. I don't care if you don't have to file taxes. You can voluntarily file the tax return, like other viewers, one of which is in the chat right now because she sent me a private message about this. She went in there, followed my advice. At first she said, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, that's how you do it. Followed my advice. She got $1,800 in 2 days. That could be you. Don't track checks, cash checks. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button on this channel. I want you to be part of this family. I don't want you to miss a broadcast. Informative, educational, up to date, by the minute. I can tell you what's going on in the Dow. I can tell you what's going on in Bitcoin. I can tell you what's going on at SSI. I can tell you what's going on with how many hospitality jobs have been generated yesterday. I can tell you what's going on with rent assistance. You see the spread of information on this channel. Everything and everything. Quickly, concise, fun, entertaining, and interactive. And there's Mark. Who else is there in the room? I see Mark. And then there's Amanda. And there's Susan. There's Crystal. And there's Lynn Galan. Oh, someone's birthday? Who'd I miss? Whose birthday is it? And there's Wakita. And there's Wesley. Dennis has a comment about the governor. I love it. I'm not going to say it on air, but I see the comment. Sean. And there's Crystal's where there's James. And there's Betty Clyde. My birthday is Sunday. Oh my goodness. Everyone wish Betty Clyde an early birthday. It's her birthday Sunday, but we're wishing her happy birthday today. And if your birthday's today, tell me. And if I don't see it, tell me again. And if you're gonna, when you tune in on Sunday, because you're gonna tune in on Sunday, Betty, you're gonna tune in every day, Betty Clyde, until Sunday. I'm gonna keep on giving you shout outs until you have enough of them. That's how we do it. It's fun and it's informative here. Wall Street is looking at this news, and it's sort of it's reacting to all this, from Elizabeth Warren to this vaccination details. She said that if it's set up now to say we're not going to collect taxes on assets less than $50,000, I mean, come on. And she says that lawmakers will catch up with the overwhelming majority of Americans who are demanding more fairness, more change, and who will believe it's time for a wealth tax. This is huge news. If you saw me or saw early in this recording, I told you that Leo Koperman, who has not been a fan of Elizabeth Warren's bills, said that he supports taxing rich people to generate revenue. He doesn't know if this bill is the one that works. He's a billionaire, a self-admitted billionaire. So how does this mean for you, and what does it mean for you? Well, it means you're getting a $14 third stimulus check bill. You're getting a $14 third stimulus check. It will be signed by the president into law as early as the end of this week. The bill is now on the Senate floor, battling for a vote. I'll have the big updates of what's going on from the Senate. And happy birthday to Betty. And there's Linda, and there's Zalma, and there's Juan Manuel Flores. And there's Lori, and there's Ruth, and there's Sean Donahue, and Stephanie, and Dennis Weatherall. And there's Wesley Chavos. How are you? The big updates about your third stimulus check, the big updates from the Senate floor. I'm going to have all that coming up at the top of the hour in about, it's 10:50, so we caught up. I'll be back in about 10 minutes with the next video. It's when we go right into noontime. Are you excited? I'm really excited. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button on the way out. Watch for the next live feed and hit that subscribe button. Across the land, America's getting excited. I'm getting excited. It's time for more. Stay with LA for more.